coming to another video review, and today I'll be taking a look at the 1 to 1/44 scale high-grade Universal Century RX-78-2 from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. So here's his size to a soda can. Pretty standard for a 1 to 1/44 scale. As far as colors go, it's basically what you would expect from a Gundam. A whole lot of white, some blue, a little bit of yellow, some red, and a bit of dark gray splashed around. So, it is the original Gundam, so it sort of established what the Gundam colors are. So, I guess, of course, it has the standard Gundam colors. It made the standard Gundam color. Posability is pretty good, but it's a high-grade Gundam model, so that's not surprising. There's a ball joint in the neck and a ball joint in the body, so the head can move up and down pretty far, tilt side to side, go all the way around, and move back and forth a little bit. There's a joint in the body, allows the arm to move back and forth pretty far, and the shoulder is on a ball joint, so up and down just a little bit, all the way around, as well as a little of its own back and forth. Arms can go to the side that far, swivel all the way around, just below the shoulder, bend that far at one joint in the elbow, ball joint in the wrist, swivel hinge in the waist, side to side a bit, tilt side to side. Front skirts are both one piece, up and down. Side skirts are on a swivel hinge and out a little bit, and they can swivel just a little, but it's very tight. Nothing on the back skirt. Hips are on ball joints, so legs can move forward that far, back that far, out just a little bit, swivel just a little bit. Legs can bend about that far at two joints in the knees. And there's another swivel hinge in the in the shin, allows the foot to move back and forth, and swivel just a little bit. The ankle armor can move up and down. And there is a ball joint in the actual foot, so up and down, side to side, rotate. So again, pretty good posability. Not the best, but pretty good. Accessories are plentiful, but not overbearing. To get the caveat and one accessory out of the way, he comes with a core fighter. It's just red and blue. And you may notice a slight error in mine. I wasn't paying attention when I stored him in the bag, and the tail fin broke off. So, that's a pain. But, just sort of imagine there's a little fin sticking up. Not overly colored, can't really do anything, but it looks nice enough. Of course, he has his twin beam sabers. They are just molded in white plastic. See if I can get the camera to focus in a little bit better. There we go. Just basic white plastic. He does, of course, come with two translucent pink beams, the standard beams. There's just a post here, port there, plug it together, and there you have the beam saber. He can hold it well enough, just drop it into his hand. And generally, you can be assured he's not going to just let go of it at any moment. Naturally, the beam sabers can be stored in the backpack with these little pieces here. Just sort of tuck them in. They don't really plug in or anything. They just sort of sit there. Let's see. What should we do next? The shield. The famous Gundam shield. Mostly white, a little bit dark gray, some red, some yellow. Not a whole lot going on. You have this little joint here, it's on a ball joint. So, side to side, in and out, swivel, all that good stuff. Of course, he can wield it. There's just a post right there, goes into the port on the arm. There you go. Of course, with that joint there, you can get all kinds of neat poses out of it. Now, it can be stored on him. You sort of want this joint kind of like that, angled, and then the post goes into a port on his back. and then it sits like this. Unfortunately, unlike all the other versions of the RX-78-2, you can't store the rifle on him, which is a bit disappointing, but whatever. Speaking of, here is the beam rifle. Very basic, just all gray plastic. Swivel here, that's about it. Of course, he can't hold it with his current hand because, well, just look at it. So what you have to do is you have to use the trigger finger hand. And to get that ready, you just take the back of the hand off, which can sometimes be a little more difficult to do than you would expect. Then you take this side of the hand and just wrap it around the grip, and then put this side on with the trigger finger going into the trigger guard. Come on. And there you go. Then just pop the hand out and pop the new hand in place. And boom, there you go. There is nowhere to store it, so he just has to hold it. And then, of course, he has the bazooka. Now, you can use the trigger finger hand, but you also can use just the standard hand. Just take the back off, put the regular hand there, and put the back in place. And there he is holding with a regular hand. There is no opposability on this except for this weird thing can move. So you just put this there, and then you kind of just have to finagle everything to get him to hold it properly. But it looks okay. Now, unlike the rifle, this actually can be stored on the model. He comes with this gray clip, which will go into the back skirt. And the back skirt, as you can see, has a notch cut out in it, so you want to put this in just the right way. Just like that. And then this thing just sits in there like this, and doesn't really get in the way of anything. But sits there pretty nice, just like that. A fairly simple kit, but to my understanding it was one of the earlier HGUC kits. Still pretty nice though, good representation of this design. I like it. I know it was pretty short, but that has been my review of the 1 to 1/44 scale high-grade Universal Century RX-78-2 from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. Until next time, bye-bye.